This video is made specially for all those young people who want to start their own businesses and they want to do it online. In this video, I'm going to share with you 15 steps that you can take to start your own online business. Coming up right after the intro. What's up, my Quaint tribe? Welcome back. I'm gonna start calling you guys the Quaint tribe now because I'm tired of saying guys or doing that whole cliche thing that all YouTubers do, like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just gonna be like, welcome back, my Quaint tribe. Yeah, so welcome back to my beautiful, sweet, lovely, supportive Quaint tribe. And if you're new here, then welcome. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gabrielle Shade Clark. I'm a self-taught fashion designer. I run a business where I make Africa-inspired bags and clothing that's called Quaint by GSC. On this YouTube channel, I give you tips on how you can live your best life through personal development in an emotional way, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, whatever you name it. And to top off all of that, I actually teach you how to make your own clothes. For example, I made this dashiki that I'm wearing. It's under the brand name Quaint Afrowear. I will add a link in the bio, so if you're interested in this top, then you can go to my website. You can check out my Instagram page. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into this video. So the reason why I want to talk about this topic is because most times when I'm being interviewed by a newspaper, a magazine, on TV, a radio station, or just some random person who does their own blogs or something like that, let me not say random, a blogger or a journalist, the most common question is, what advice would you give to young aspiring entrepreneurs? And I really love that question because it really challenges me to think about the things that I went through as an entrepreneur. It challenges me to remember all the mistakes I made and then be able to give that advice to you and to many others on how you can start your business and cut out all of those mistakes I made and cut out all of those wrong turns I took. So I have come up with 15 steps that you can take to starting your own online business. So let's get into it. The very first thing that you want to do in creating an online business is that you want to come up with an idea. What is it that you want to do? Assuming that you already have your idea, you want to make sure that that idea is somehow unique. Make sure that it stands out from the brands or services that already exist like yours, or if it's going to be something like brands or services that already exist, or a product or service that already exists, then you can find a way to add your own creative twist to it, and that will make it unique. When I came on the scene, I brought my own design. I took African print fabrics and leatherette and denim and made awesome bags. I used the outline of Africa and I used African print fabrics and I printed people names on it and that sort of thing. So I really used my imagination to make something that already existed into something really unique and different. The market is saturated, so you have to make sure that you're coming with something that will really attract people. The second thing is that you want to create a unique name so that you will stand out from the crowd. You can have this name being personal to you. For example, I could have decided to name my brand Gabby's Designs or Gabby's Style or Style by Gabby. I would just have to come up with a name that is unique to me, and I have to do my research to ensure that it doesn't already exist. So make sure that any name that you're coming up with, it is not already taken by someone else, because sometimes you could do that and violate somebody's copyright or their trademark or whatever the case may be, and they can probably take legal action. So make sure that you're coming up with a unique name. For me specifically, I wanted my brand to have a very exotic name. I wanted it to have a name that would cause people to think like, oh, what does that word mean? So I named my brand Quaint, and I had to do some research for that. I knew I wanted my products to represent something unusual, so I looked for synonyms of the word unusual, and Quaint happened to be one of those words, and that's the one I chose. So come up with your unique name and ensure that nobody has already secured it. After you come up with that name and you have decided on the products and services that you will provide for the public, you need to register your business and open a business bank account. Now, I didn't register my business as soon as I started because honestly I didn't even know that it was going to become something serious. I registered it about a year after being in business, but the right thing to do is really to register as soon as you start a business, because the most important thing that registering your business name protects you from is that no one else can use your business name, right? So if I chose the name Quaint and somebody else decided that they wanted to name their business Quaint, then and they register it before me, then I wouldn't have the ability to use that name again. And this is specifically in Jamaica. I'm pretty sure it's the same in other countries and in other, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same in other countries, but I just know for sure how Jamaica works. And in addition to registering your business, you want to open a business bank account. And the reason why I say this is because you want to be able to keep your business expenses separate from your personal expenses. I did not do that. As a matter of fact, I've been running my business for almost 4 years now, and I just the other day, just about a year ago, I opened a business bank account. But what's important is that you have to have your money separate from your business money, because when it comes time to invest back into the business or pay yourself, then you need to be able to differentiate. And at the same time, if you ever need to get a loan for the business, then you will have all of your details, all of your financial records in that one business account. The next thing that you want to do after you have done all those other steps that I've listed is to go ahead and secure your domain name. I mean, sometime in the future, or probably as soon as you start your business, you're going to want to have a website. A website is a very resourceful place for people to go to get information about your products and services other than social media. I personally use Hover or however it's pronounced. Let's say Hover. Yeah, Hover, that's what we're gonna work with. That's what I use to create my domain name. So you want to secure that domain name so nobody else will have a website with that same name. It's the same thing like business registration. So if I register the website Quaint by GSC, nobody else will be able to use quaintbygsc.com for their website. They might be able to use quaintbygsc.net, but there's going to be a clear difference there based on the ending. Separate and apart from securing your domain name, you want to secure your username on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, and I don't mean that you have to do all 5 of these. What I mean is that you can choose the platforms that will be a lot more useful to you and then set up your accounts there. The last thing you want is to have a brand name registered, you open a bank account for it, and your heart is so set on starting this brand and starting this service, but somebody out there already has the Instagram name, so you have to change it to something that probably doesn't relate to your name the way that you want it to, or something, you just have to settle for something that doesn't even depict the actual brand, you know? So yeah, make sure that you secure your name all over the web. After you have secured all of that, you want to create a brand identity. Create a logo, you want to have a color scheme, you want to have a slogan. If you can create a slogan, then come up with something that depicts what your brand is about. So you want to create a slogan, you want to have a theme that you go by. So if you're going to have an Instagram theme, let's say you're a photographer and you do wedding photography, then your page should be full of wedding photos. If you are a photographer but you do like portraits, then your page should be stock full of portraits. I am a bag maker, and so my bag brand has a bunch of bags on the page. As soon as you go on the page, you can identify that this is a bag brand, right? So come up with your unique identity and make sure that you have a message that people can get from your brand. It should say something to them when they hear the name or when they hear the slogan. You want to price your products. Price your products based on your overheads, raw material, whatever you had to put into the production of the item, and you want to also put a profit percentage, you want to add in packaging and that sort of thing. based on the kind of business that you are starting. But you definitely want to come up with your prices, because when you start to put your products out there, you want to have a price. When somebody asks, how much is it for this service, how much is it for this product, you should be able to give them an answer, and you shouldn't be hesitating. I mean, you're going to take some time to get used to it, but you should know, you should be certain about it. So make sure that you price your products. Once you price your products, come up with a sales strategy. Are you going to start a website, or are you going to just send people invoices and they email you to make an order? Or are you just going to have people making their orders in your DMs? Are you going to have them call you to make their orders? Are you going to have them send you a WhatsApp message to make your orders? So come up with a strategy on how you will sell your product. And once you have come up with that strategy on how you sell your product, then you're ready to go on to the next step, which is to plan how you will ship your products. Online shopping affords you that luxury of having people outside of your country buying from you, but then you have to think about how you're going to get those things that you're sending to them. Right? So you have to find out where the local post office is in your area. You want to find out what are the rates for shipping. You want to find out how long it takes, and you want to find out what's the process to send a package. Once you find out all this information now, you're streamlining your business process even more, which is so important. You have to know all these things before you even get into it, because I mean, it's good for you to just go into it without knowing, but the purpose of me creating this YouTube video is so that you can cut out all of those mistakes that myself and a lot of other entrepreneurs had to make when they just started out with their entrepreneurship journey. Make sure that you know about your products and services, because if you don't know about your products and services and your customer asks you, what type of material makes this bag? What type of material makes this clothes? What colors do you have this in? How do I clean this? You have to know all that information. You have to be able to speak very highly about your brand, very highly about your product and your service. When you're trying to sell your brand to someone, confidence is key. And if you don't have confidence, and if you don't know what you're saying, you're not going to have confidence. And if you don't have confidence in yourself and in your brand, you are going to convey the same message to the person that you're trying to sell to, and they will lose confidence in you and they will not want to support you. Then you want to take photos. Take photos of your products. You want to make sure that you're placing them in a very aesthetic way. If I have been talking about anything in this video that you want me to teach you about, then leave a comment down below so I can know to talk about it. So like, for example, I can teach you guys how to properly photograph your products just by using an iPhone, because I use my iPhone to take my photos, right? So you want to come up with a theme. You want to make sure that you have a nice aesthetic feed that people will be attracted to. As soon as they come onto your Instagram feed, you want them to be like, yeah, I definitely want to follow this person because these photos look really awesome and they have some really nice products. If it's one thing I know, it's that you can have an average product and excellent marketing and get a lot of sales, and you can have a great product and horrible marketing and don't get a lot of sales. And a big part of marketing is making sure that you have high quality photos to post. You want to get those together, and as soon as you get those together, start marketing your products. And by marketing your products, I mean pushing it out there, putting it on Twitter, on Instagram, paying for ads on Facebook, giving out flyers if you need to give out flyers, working with influencers and collaborating with people who you know will drive sales. And you want to become your own brand ambassador. That is what I had to do, because I never had anybody who willingly got up and wanted to promote my brand for me. So I had to make sure that I was pushing it more than anybody else possibly could. You need to know that you're going to be your biggest fan at the start of your business, but in due time, you'll develop a loyal group of customers and supporters who will always want to share your products and always want to share the content that you are giving to them. I've only mentioned the product side of it. You can also take photos of the services that you are going to be providing. So if you're a financial advisor, and you can take some corporate looking photos and some photos of you sitting around a desk with a file in front of you and you're using Peachtree or QuickBooks or something of that sort. If you do massages, then you can have photos of yourself giving a massage. If you're a yoga teacher, you can have photos of yourself doing yoga classes. But you want to market, and then you want to stay consistent, because if you don't stay consistent, you're going to lose the people's attention. It has been proven that people need to see something at least 7 times before they remember it and recognize it and decide that they're going to take action on it. So you have to make sure that you're continuously posting. I had to promote my business on social media for probably a month before anybody started asking me questions about my products, and it took me probably 2 months to get my first sale. Can you imagine if I gave up? So you have to be consistent and make sure that you keep at it. Make sure that you're always marketing, because the game of entrepreneurship or online business is not for the swift, but those who can endure. Also, it is a marathon. It's not something that just springs up overnight, unless of course you get a shout out from Fashion Nova or something like that. But yeah, you know what I mean. So it's gonna take time, but be patient. When you get your first customer, ensure that you practice excellent customer service, because you want that customer to recommend you to someone else, and you want them to feel comfortable coming back to you to do business with you again, because a repeat customer is actually a lot more important. Well, I won't say they're a lot more important than a new customer, but a repeat customer is very valuable, because they will stay with you, plus they'll bring new people to you. Fulfill your orders on time. This is something I struggled with at first. If I gave my customer a 7-day period to which they would get their item, sometimes I went over that 7 days, and that led to furious customers at times. So I will encourage you for sure to make sure that you are not drawing out your promised date. If you give them a date and you tell them that's going to be ready by then put in all the work to make sure that you'll have it ready in time. Once you start collecting money, you want to deposit into your bank account, and this is so that you can keep track of your money with a bank statement, because when it comes time for you to get a loan or to pay your taxes or to have your accountant do your balances and all of that stuff, so you want to make sure that you have all your spending information in one place to track all your finances. You want to strive to always improve. Use feedback from your customers to improve. Take it as constructive criticism. If they tell you that there's a part of your product or service that can be streamlined, or that they feel should be a different way, then look into it to see how true that is. Look into it to see if that is a change that you can make to improve your product or service, because you have to constantly be evolving to retain your customers and to attract new customers. And keep marketing, stay consistent, make sure that you're always learning, make sure that you are always full of knowledge on the industry that you're in and the field that you're in. Learn from people ahead of you or people above you who have been in the industry before you for a very long time, just like how you are learning from me right now. And you want to also read books, research people who you know have been successful in this field, read their success stories, read autobiographies, and use that as inspiration and motivation to keep things going as fresh and as alive as you would like. Those are my steps or tips that you can take to start your own online business. If there's anything I failed to say in this video, then feel free to comment down below. Let's start a conversation so that other people can learn. Let me know what you want me to talk about, what else you want me to talk about, what else you want me to teach, what you're curious about, and if there's anything I said in the video that you want me to expand on, then I can do a video for you. So just comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for weekly sewing and upliftment videos from yours truly, Gabby Shade. Become a part of the Quaint Pursuit, my Quaint tribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.